Hey, good day everyone. Thank you for watching Sean Punch Drawing and Photography. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about the different pencil grades and going from hard to black. And the previous video I've shown you how to sharpen a pencil like a pencil artist. Now I'm going to describe the different types of pencils that I use. So I use, for this demonstration, a 5H by Derwent, a 2H by Caran d'Ache, an H by Castell, Faber-Castell, HB by Staedtler, Mars Lumograph, 2B by Blick Studio, a 4B by Blick Studio, and an 8B by Mars Lumograph. None of these are sponsors. I just like the pencils. And I get them in different colors so I know which pencil is which grade is which. So the scale of pencils. On the one end, there's the hard pencils, and on the other end, there are the black pencils. And they're graded in numbers. So I believe 9H is the hardest. 9B is the blackest. So why is any of that important? So this right here is a 5H. I'm gonna write 5H. Now the hard pencils, they're good for sharp lines. And I'm gonna do a shading right here. So you can see the tone. So a 5H is good for light blending, light blending of tones. I use a 2H. I do this when I'm starting to make the outline of a sketch. That's 5H, this is 2H. 2H is a little bit blacker than 5H. And the different brands, some are smoother than others, some erase better than others. So this Caran d'Ache 2H is fairly light. And what I like to do is, I like to press down half strength. So you can see, you get a range of how the 2H works. H is harder. H is hard, but it's not as hard as 2H or 5H. 5H is the hardest in this series. As you can see, H is a little bit darker because we're going up the darker end of the scale. So when would I use an H? I often use an H when I want to separate one object from the next. Because it's hard and it's a little bit dark, it's good for separation. Like right at the edge. See, this corner helps me separate the box from the background. So that's H. HB is a very common pencil that I use. Now this is hard and black. H and B. HB, hard black. Now the darker the pencil, the softer the lead. So it's going to be dark, but it doesn't get fine gradation as the harder pencils. And you can see there's some white showing through from the paper when I draw with the HB. It doesn't totally cover the surface as well as the H's, but it's compromised. The H's can't get as dark as the HB. Okay, so I'm going to go a little bit darker, 2B. Now, when would I use a 2B? Let's say I'm drawing skin tone of dark-skinned person, person my complexion. Right away it's darker. As you can see, it's not covering all of the surface of the paper. And it's harder to get fine details with a 2B pencil. And the softer the pencil is, the darker it is, the more frequently I have to sharpen the pencil. Next up on the scale is 4B. It's going to be darker than the 2B and the HB, but it's going to show even more of the paper through. It's going to be less detailed. And 4Bs tend to be a little harder to erase, so I wouldn't make a sketch. I usually don't make sketches with 4Bs. But if I want to get a dark background, draw a dark background, I would jump with a 4B right away. And I'm holding my pencil two different ways. If I want to make wide strokes, wide shading, if I want to cover wide shading areas, I hold it sideways. I hold it long. See, it covers. Okay. If I want to have some detail, then I hold. If I want more control, tighter strokes, I hold it closer to the leg. And with all of the strokes, I tend to go half strength. Now the last on this scale is 8B. This is supposed to be really dark, but it's a very soft pencil, almost like a crayon. The lead is thick. And you can see a whole lot of the paper showing through. Alright, so right here you see scale. You have 5H, 2H. 5H is for blending, it's very light. 2H, blending also, it's also very light. I use the 2H for sketches, to do the outline of sketches. H is getting a little bit darker. This is good when I want to start drawing the shadow shapes. HB, it's a nice mix of hard and black. 2B when I want to start drawing the skin tone. 4B when I want to start drawing a dark background. 8B, there's a large dark surface.